The year is 1942. The Pacific Ocean stirs with the heat of battle, and in the middle of the chaos stands a formidable vessel, the USS Helena. Armed to the teeth and steaming into some of World War II's fiercest conflicts, this Brooklyn-class light cruiser earned her reputation as a deadly arsenal. But what made the USS Helena truly fearsome? How did her crew navigate the treacherous waters of war, from the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor to the intense battles of Guadalcanal? Join us as we delve deep into the heart of USS Helena CL-50 and uncover the untold stories of bravery, sacrifice, and the deadly arsenal that shaped history. In the late 1930s, the United States Navy introduced a new kind of ship, the Brooklyn-class light cruiser. USS Helena, the last of this class, was built to counter the Japanese Mogami class. Equipped with powerful 6-inch guns like its adversaries, Helena and her sister ship, St. Louis, had some enhancements, including improved machinery and better anti-aircraft defenses. As tensions mounted between the United States and Japan in 1941, Helena found herself thrust into action. She was there at Pearl Harbor when the Japanese attacked, suffering a torpedo hit. But she was resilient. After repairs and modernization, she returned to the competition. The USS Helena's journey began at the New York Navy Yard in 1936, where her construction commenced. Launched in 1938, she officially joined the United States Navy fleet on September 18, 1939. Setting sail on her maiden voyage in December 1939, Helena underwent sea trials in South American waters, making stops at Guantanamo Bay and ports in Argentina and Uruguay. Returning to the U.S., she underwent repairs until July 1940, followed by training exercises. In July 1941, Helena underwent further enhancements at the Mare Island Naval Shipyard, receiving additional armaments. However, tragedy struck on December 7, 1941, during the attack on Pearl Harbor, where Helena's crew bravely defended against Japanese aircraft, shooting down 6. After temporary repairs, Helena sailed for the U.S. West Coast, undergoing extensive repairs and upgrades until July 1942. Equipped with radar systems and a new anti-aircraft battery, she resumed active duty after completing sea trials. In late September and early October, Helena escorted reinforcements to Guadalcanal, unaware of approaching Japanese forces intent on bombarding the American garrison. Detected by Helena's radar operators, the Japanese squadron was met with swift action from Captain Scott, leading to a fierce battle where Helena's accurate fire inflicted severe damage on enemy vessels. Amidst the chaos, tragedy struck when either Helena or another American vessel inadvertently struck the USS Fahrenheit, causing her to retreat from the battle. In the aftermath, Captain Scott regrouped his squadron, preparing for further action. With the arrival of the fast battleship Washington, TF-64 continued its patrols, despite a Japanese submarine attack narrowly missing Helena. On November 12th, under the command of Admiral Callahan, the convoy and its escort vessels arrived off Guadalcanal. Amidst unloading operations, a Japanese artillery battery opened fire on the transports. Helena and other American vessels returned fire, suppressing the enemy gunners. Despite a Japanese airstrike damaging 2 ships, Helena remained unscathed. As tensions escalated, both sides' destroyers encountered each other in the early hours of January 1, 1943. Confusion reigned among the American forces, worsened by contradictory orders. Despite this, the engagement commenced, marking another chapter in the ongoing struggle for control of the Pacific. So what do you think? Will the American forces overcome the confusion and emerge victorious, or will the Japanese seize the upper hand in this pivotal moment? In the heat of battle, Helena found herself in a deadly dance with the Japanese destroyers Akatsuki and Amatsukaze. Despite disabling Akatsuki's searchlight, Helena soon faced relentless bombardment from multiple enemy vessels. However, her relentless barrage paid off when Akatsuki succumbed to the heavy fire, exploding and sinking swiftly. Turning her attention to Amatsukaze, Helena's accurate hits forced the Japanese destroyer to retreat. However, a sudden maneuver by San Francisco forced Helena to pause her fire momentarily. Yet, determined, Helena continued her assault, targeting retreating Japanese vessels amid the chaos of battle. As San Francisco, badly damaged by the Japanese battleship Hiei, navigated through the battle, Helena moved to protect her from further harm. In the following 38-minute melee, the American squadron suffered heavy damage, with both Admiral Callaghan and Captain Scott losing their lives. Remarkably, Helena emerged relatively unscathed, sustaining only minor damage and casualties. However, the toll of battle extended beyond the immediate conflict. Admiral William Halsey relieved Admiral Hoover of command due to perceived failures in response to the sinking of the USS Atlanta and other aspects of the engagement. Captain Charles P. Cecil assumed command of Helena in the aftermath. In the following months, Helena played a key role in several attacks on Japanese positions in preparation for the new Georgia campaign. From covering troop convoys to bombarding enemy strongholds, Helena demonstrated her versatility and firepower. As preparations for the new Georgia campaign intensified, Helena and her squadron continued patrols and training exercises, honing their skills for the challenges ahead. With each mission, Helena proved her mettle, contributing to the Allied efforts in the Pacific theater of World War II. As the invasion of New Georgia unfolded, Helena found herself at the forefront of the action alongside Task Force 68. Positioned south of New Georgia by July 1st, the task force briefly reacted to a false alarm of a Japanese airstrike at Tulagi before proceeding with their mission. The Allied strategy focused on a second landing in the Kula Gulf, aiming to disrupt Japanese resupply routes and prevent their escape from the island. Aware of potential Japanese naval intervention, Task Force 68 prepared for the likelihood of enemy engagement, emphasizing flexibility and readiness for any scenario. On July 4th, the American invasion force led by USS Honolulu and followed by St. Louis and Helena departed Tulagi. Screened by destroyers, they approached Kula Gulf, with USS Nicholas and Strong scouting ahead. As they entered the Gulf, the ships prepared to bombard Japanese positions at Vila. Helena unleashed her firepower alongside other vessels, raining shells on enemy targets, coordinated by aerial reconnaissance. Despite technical glitches, such as turret malfunctions, Helena's crew swiftly addressed issues, ensuring their continued effectiveness in the mission. Meanwhile, the Japanese, undeterred by previous setbacks, assembled a formidable force for a counterattack. Led by Rear Admiral Akiyama, their fleet aimed to disrupt Allied operations and reinforce their garrison on New Georgia. As the American squadron repositioned for engagement on July 6th, they encountered poor visibility and uncertainty regarding the enemy's composition and location. Yet, determined to press forward, Task Force 68 moved to confront the approaching Japanese vessels. As the two forces closed in on each other, the night erupted into a fierce battle. With radar-guided precision, the American cruisers unleashed a devastating barrage of shells upon the Japanese, marking the beginning of a ferocious clash in the waters of Kula Gulf. As USS Helena engaged in fierce combat, targeting the Japanese destroyer Nizuki with her main battery, chaos erupted. Amidst the barrage of fire, Nizuki fell, taking Rear Admiral Akiyama down with her. However, the battle took a devastating turn as Suzukaze and Tanikaze launched torpedoes at the American line. In a swift and deadly assault, 3 torpedoes struck Helena, causing catastrophic damage. The force of the explosion tore apart the ship, leaving nearly 1,000 men in the water, clinging to life rafts in the middle of the wreckage. Task Force 68, under the command of Admiral Ainsworth, scrambled to locate survivors while struggling with the looming threat of Japanese forces. Despite their efforts, the survivors faced a grim reality of uncertainty and danger. During the confusion, rescue efforts resumed, with destroyers scouring the seas for survivors. However, the struggle was far from over because Japanese ships constantly posed a threat, forcing the American ships to make an early withdrawal. In an incredible display of resilience and resourcefulness, survivors led by Captain Cecil, who refused rescue, set out on a dangerous journey ashore. Fighting the elements and escaping enemy patrols, they found refuge on the coast of New Georgia, where Solomon Islanders assisted in their concealment. Meanwhile, Allied forces mobilized a daring rescue operation to retrieve the stranded survivors. Despite the risks posed by Japanese forces, Allied naval units successfully evacuated the survivors, ferrying them to safety. The toll of the tragedy was immense, with 168 brave souls lost in the sinking of USS Helena. Yet, even during the devastation, the spirit of resilience and brotherhood endured, as survivors were reunited and honored for their sacrifice. In the years that followed, the memory of USS Helena lived on, immortalized in a memorial erected in Helena, Montana. And in 2018, The discovery of the wreck by the research ship RV Petrel served as a sorrowful reminder of the sacrifices made during one of the darkest chapters of World War II. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible ship and want to hear more fascinating tales from history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content. Thanks for watching.